The Virgin Mary, a simple revelation. Mary realized as a teenager that she was prophesied about in Scripture. Isaiah 7 verse 14 says, "Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." Emmanuel means God with us. Mary was wiser than others in the world. Even in Egypt as a refugee with Jesus and Joseph, Mary often gave sound advice to others. Mary was short by today's standards, being a little over 4 feet tall. Even in her own time, other women were a few inches taller on average. Joseph, her young husband, was about 5 feet and 6 inches, which was tall for that time. Mary was spiritually discerning to a degree beyond that of those who had gone before, and those who have come since. However, I want to speak about Mary's life in her latter years. Mary was widowed before her son was killed. Mary was closer to Jesus than any other person. She disliked Judas Iscariot, because of the very spiritual discernment I spoke of, allowed her to perceive his heart. In her final days on earth, the spirit of her son appeared to Mary, inviting her to come to him in heaven. Mary had been certain Jesus was going to do this. Mary went to the spot of her son's crucifixion. Unseen by humans, Mary ascended to heaven. This was not that long after Jesus himself had ascended. It was an early Christian tradition that this had occurred. However, the apostles wrote little of Mary, since they knew God did not want her to become an idol. God wanted believers to be centered on Christ. When Mary was in heaven, she was the only woman there in the flesh. Enoch, Elijah, and of course Jesus, were there in the flesh. Mary came into the presence of God the Father. He came off his throne. Although he is spirit and not flesh, the Father embraced Mary and kissed both her cheeks.